My husband trains me to be perfect. That is what he says. He says he loves me. He says he wants the best for me. But his love feels heavy. His love feels like work. My name is Lisa. Every mistake means consequences. He calls it training me to be a better wife. I am 24 years old. I live in a big house. The house is white and clean. It has a big garden. It has tall windows. From the outside, it looks like a dream. People walk by my house. They stop. They look at the garden. They say, "Wow, look at that house." The people inside must be very happy. They do not know the truth. They do not know about the rules. They do not know about the training. I want to tell you my story. I want to tell you the truth. Maybe you feel like me. Maybe you are in a relationship that hurts. I'm telling you this because I want you to be strong. I met Mark 3 years ago. I was working in a coffee shop. I was a waitress. I was young. I was happy. I laughed a lot. Mark came into the shop. He was handsome. He wore a nice suit. He had a nice car. He smiled at me. He said, "You are beautiful. You make good coffee." I was shy. I said, "Thank you." We started to talk. He was very kind. He brought me flowers. He took me to nice restaurants. I thought he was a prince. I thought I was a princess. I fell in love very fast. He said, "Lisa, I want to take care of you. You do not need to work. I have money. I have a big house. Marry me. You will be safe." I said yes. I wanted to be safe. I wanted a family. I thought life would be easy, but after the wedding, everything changed. The change was slow. It did not happen in one day. It started with small things. One day I made dinner. I made chicken and rice. Mark came home from work. He sat at the table. He looked at the food. He did not smile. He said, "Lisa, the chicken is dry." I said, "I am sorry, Mark. I cooked it for 1 hour." He looked at me with cold eyes. He said, "I work hard all day. I earn money for this house. I want a good dinner. Is that too much to ask?" I felt small. I said, "No, Mark, I will do better next time." He pushed the plate away. He said, "No dinner for me tonight. This is your first lesson. You must pay attention to details." He went to the bedroom. He closed the door. I sat alone in the kitchen. Food was cold. I felt tears in my eyes. I thought, it is my mistake. I must learn to cook better. That was the beginning. Now my life is a list of rules. Mark wakes up at 600 a.m. I must wake up at 5:30 a.m. I must make his coffee. The coffee must be hot. It must be in his favorite blue cup. If the coffee is cold, he pours it into the sink. He does not shout. He is very quiet, but his silence is scary. He leaves a list on the table every morning. The list tells me what to do: clean the windows, iron the shirts, buy fresh vegetables. Do not talk to the neighbors. He calls this the plan. he says, Lisa, if you follow the plan, we will be happy. I am training you to be organized. I am training you to be perfect. I try very hard. I clean the floors until my knees hurt. I iron his shirts until they are smooth. I arrange the pillows on the sofa. Everything must be straight. Everything must be clean. If I make a mistake, there is a punishment. One day, I forgot to buy apples. It was a small mistake. I bought bananas and oranges. But I forgot the apples. Mark came home. He looked at the fruit bowl. Where are the apples? He asked. I forgot. I whispered. I am sorry. He sighed. He looked disappointed. Lisa, 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 you are careless. You do not listen. How can you be a good wife if you do not listen? I will go to the store now, I said. I will buy them. No, he said, sit down. I sat on the chair. My hands were shaking. Give me your phone, he said. My phone, I asked. Yes, you're distracted. You spend too much time on your phone. That is why you forget apples. Give it to me. I gave him my phone. You will not have your phone for 2 days. He said, this is your consequence. This will help you focus. This is draining. I felt panic. My phone was my only connection to the world. I used it to call my mother. I used it to read stories. Now I was alone. I said nothing. I looked at the floor. I learned that arguing makes it worse. If I argue, the punishment is longer. I spent 2 days in silence. I cleaned the house. I cooked food. I waited for Mark. I felt like a ghost in my own home. Do you know this feeling? Do you feel like you are disappearing? I felt like I was fading away. The old Lisa, the happy waitress, was gone. Now there was only Mark's wife, the perfect wife. Sometimes the training was about my clothes. Mark liked simple clothes. He did not like bright colors. He liked gray, white and black. One day I went shopping. I saw a red dress. It was beautiful. It was the color of a rose. I tried it on. I looked in the mirror. I looked pretty. I looked alive. I bought the red dress. I was excited. I wanted to show Mark. When he came home, I wore the red dress. I put on lipstick. I stood in the living room. I smiled. Mark, look, I said. He stopped. He did not smile. He looked at the dress. He looked at my face. He frowned. What is that? He asked. It is a new dress, I said. Do you like it? He walked closer. He touched the fabric. It is too bright, he said. It is too loud. You look cheap. My heart broke. I thought it was pretty. I said it is not pretty. He said it does not fit this house. It does not fit you. You are my wife. You should look elegant, not like this. He pointed to the stairs. Take it off. Put it in a bag. Tomorrow you will return it. But Mark, Lisa, he said. His voice was hard. Do not make me angry. This is for your own good. I am teaching you style. I am teaching you class. I went upstairs. I took off the red dress. I felt ugly. I put on my gray dress. I looked in the mirror. I looked pale. I looked sad. I returned the dress the next day. The lady at the shop asked, was it the wrong size? No, I said. My husband did not like it. She looked at me with sad eyes. I think she understood, but she said nothing. Every day was a test. Every day was an exam. I was always nervous. My stomach always hurt. I walked softly. I did not want to make noise. I did not want to disturb him. He controlled the money, too. He gave me cash for groceries. I had to bring him the receipt. He checked every item. Why did you buy this expensive cheese? He asked. Why did you buy this brand of soap? I had to explain everything. If I lost a penny, he was angry. You are not responsible, he said. I must manage the money. You are like a child. I started to believe him. I thought maybe I am stupid. Maybe I am a child. He is smart. He is successful. He knows better. This is the dangerous part. When someone tells you that you are wrong every day, you believe them. You lose trust in yourself. You think you need them, but then something happened. It was a small thing, but it opened my eyes. It was a Tuesday. Mark was at work. I was in the garden. I was watering the flowers. The sun was warm. I felt a little bit of peace. A woman walked by. She lived in the house next door. Her name was Sarah. She was older than me. She had gray hair and a kind face. She was carrying 2 heavy bags. One bag broke. Apples and oranges rolled on the ground. Oh no, she cried. I ran to the gate. Let me help you, I said. I opened the gate. I went outside. This was against the rules. Mark said stay in the house, but I could not watch her struggle. I helped her pick up the fruit. Thank you, dear. She said, you are very kind. I am Sarah. I am Lisa, I said. I see you in the garden sometimes, she said. Your garden is perfect. Not like mine. My garden is a mess. The grass is too long. She laughed. Her laugh was loud and happy. I like a messy garden, I said softly. It looks free. She looked at me. She saw something in my face. Would you like a cup of tea? She asked. My house is right there. I looked at my watch. It was 200 p.m. Mark came home at 6:00 p.m. I had time. Okay, I said, just for a few minutes. I went to her house. Her house was different. It was not white and clean. It was colorful. There were books everywhere. There were pillows on the floor. There was a cat sleeping on a chair. There were dishes in the sink. It was messy, but it felt warm. It felt like a home. Sarah made tea. We sat at her kitchen table. Her husband came into the room. He was a big man with a beard. He wore dirty clothes. He had been working in the garage. He walked to Sarah. He kissed her cheek. He left a smudge of dirt on her face. Hello, love, he said. Who is our guest? This is Lisa, Sarah said, from next door. Nice to meet you, Lisa, he said. He smiled. Sorry for the dirt, I am fixing the car. Sarah laughed. She wiped the dirt from her face. You are always dirty, she said, but she smiled at him with love. Is there any tea for me? He asked. Get a cup, she said. He got a cup. He sat with us. They joked, they laughed. He teased her about the broken bag. She teased him about his dirty shirt. They were not perfect. Their house was not perfect. Their clothes were not perfect, but they were happy. I watched them. I felt a pain in my chest. This is what I wanted. I wanted to laugh. I wanted to be messy. I wanted love without rules. Sarah looked at me. Are you okay, Lisa? Yes, I said. You are very happy. We are okay, she said. Marriage is hard work. But we are friends. He is my best friend. I thought about Mark. Was he my friend? No, he was my boss. He was my teacher. He was my trainer, but he was not my friend. I looked at the clock. It was 3 p.m. I have to clean. Come back any time, Sarah said. I walked back to my big white house. It felt cold. It felt empty. I looked at the dust on the table. I looked at the perfect pillows. I hated them. That evening I was quiet. Mark noticed. You're quiet tonight, he said. Did you finish the list? Yes, I said. Good girl. He said. He patted my head like a dog. I felt anger. It was a small flame inside me. I am not a dog, I thought. I am a woman. The next week the pressure got worse. Mark invited his boss for dinner. This is a very important night, Mark said. Everything must be perfect. You must cook a perfect meal. The house must shine. You must wear your blue dress. You must smile. Do not speak too much. Just smile. And serve the food. I was terrified. I cleaned for 3 days. I polished the silver. I washed the curtains. I practiced cooking the meal. Beef, potatoes, and green beans. Chocolate cake for dessert. The night arrived. I was nervous. My hands shook. Mark came home early. He checked everything. The napkins are not folded correctly. He said he fixed them. The lights are too bright. He dimmed them. He looked at me. Your hair is messy. Fix it. I ran to the bathroom. I fixed my hair. I put on the blue dress. I looked perfect, but inside I was screaming. The guests arrived. Mr. Jenkins and his wife. They were nice people. They sat at the table. I brought the food. This looks delicious, Mrs. Jenkins said. Lisa is a good cook, Mark said. I have trained her well. He laughed. The guests laughed. They thought it was a joke. I forced a smile. I served the wine. My hand was shaking. I poured the red wine. A drop, just one small drop, fell on the white tablecloth. It was a small red spot. Mark saw it. His eyes went wide. His face turned red. He stopped talking. Oh, Mrs. Jenkins said, it is just a little drop. Do not worry. I am so sorry, I said. I tried to clean it. Leave it, Mark said. His voice was ice cold. Go to the kitchen, get the dessert. I walked to the kitchen. I felt sick. I knew the consequences were coming. I knew the punishment waited for me. I brought the cake. We ate in silence. Mark did not look at me. He talked to his boss. He ignored me completely. When the guests left, Mark closed the door. He turned to me. I stood by the table. Mark, I am sorry. My hand slipped. He did not shout. He walked to the table. He picked up a glass of wine. You embarrassed me, he said. I told you to be perfect. I told you this was important. It was an accident, I cried. Accidents are for children, he said. You are not a child. You are my wife. You must learn. He took the glass of wine. He poured it on the floor. The red liquid spread on the white carpet. Now, clean it, he said. Mark, please. Clean it, he yelled. It was the first time he yelled. Clean it now and then. Clean the whole kitchen. I want you to stay awake until everything is perfect. Do not come to bed. You sleep on the sofa tonight. This is your training. He went upstairs. I fell to my knees. I cried. I scrubbed the carpet. The red stain was hard too. Remove. I rubbed and rubbed. My tears fell on the carpet. I looked at the stain. It looked like blood. I cannot do this, I whispered. I cannot be perfect. I am human. I thought of Sarah. I thought of her messy house. I thought of her husband's dirty face. They were happy. I was miserable. I realized something important. Mark did not love me. He loved the idea of me. He loved a doll. He loved a servant. He did not love Lisa. If I stayed, I would disappear completely. One day, there would be no Lisa left. Only a shell. I had to leave, but I was scared. I had no money. I had no car. I had no place to go. I finished cleaning the carpet. It was 3 a.m. The house was silent. I sat on the sofa. I did not sleep. I made a plan. I needed money. I knew where Mark kept some cash. He kept it in a drawer in his office. It was emergency money, but taking it was stealing. I was afraid. No, I told myself. I worked for this house. I cooked. I cleaned. I deserved to survive. I waited for the morning. Mark came down at 600 a.m. I was in the kitchen. I had made coffee. He looked at the carpet. It was clean. Good, he said. You learned your lesson. He drank his coffee. He did not say thank you. He picked up his briefcase. I will be late tonight, he said. Have dinner ready at 7:00 p.m. And Lisa, yes, Mark. Do not be clumsy. Again, he left. I heard his car drive away. I did not cry. I did not shake. I felt cold and strong. I went to his office. I found the key. I opened the drawer. I took the cash. It was not a lot, but it was enough for a bus ticket and a hotel for a few nights. I went to my room. I took a small bag. I did not Take the expensive clothes. I did not take the jewelry he gave me. I took my old jeans. I took my comfortable shoes. I took a photo of my mother. I went to the kitchen. I wrote a note, Mark. I am not perfect. I never will be. I am leaving. Do not look for me. The training is over. Alyssa, I left the note on the perfect table. I left his ring next to the note. I walked to the door. I looked at the house one last time. It was beautiful. It was clean. It was a prison. I opened the door. The air outside was fresh. It smelled like rain. I walked to the gate. I saw Sarah in her garden. She was digging in the dirt. She saw me with my bag. She saw my face. She knew. She walked to the fence. Lisa, I am leaving, I said. She smiled. A big, sad, proud smile. Good for you. Honey, be safe. Thank you, I said. Thank you for the tea. I walked to the bus station. I did not run. I walked. My head was high. I bought a ticket to a city far away. I sat on the bus. The engine started. The bus moved. I watched the town disappear. I watched the big white house disappear. I felt scared. I did not know what would happen tomorrow. I did not have a job. I did not have a husband, but I breathed in and out. The air filled my lungs. The air was mine. I looked at my hands. They were my hands, not Mark's tools. That was 1 year ago. Now I live in a small apartment. It is very small. The paint is peeling. The window sticks. I work in a flower shop. My hands are always dirty with soil. I smell like roses and leaves. I have enough money for food. I have enough money for rent. I do not have a car. I take the bus. My life is not perfect. Sometimes I am lonely. Sometimes I am tired. Sometimes I burn my toast. Sometimes I leave my clothes on the floor and it is wonderful. Yesterday I bought a dress. It is bright yellow. It is the color of the sun. I wore it to work. A customer said, "You look bright today." I smiled. A real smile. Yes, I said, I feel bright. I am not training anymore. I am living. I learned a big lesson. Love is not control. Love is not rules. Love is not fear. If someone loves you, they love your mistakes. They love your messy hair. They love your burnt toast. They want you to be free, not perfect. If you are in a house like mine was, please listen to me. You are strong. You are valuable. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to be you. It is scary too. Leave. It is the scariest thing in the world, but staying is worse. Staying is losing yourself. I found myself again. I am Lisa. I am clumsy. I am loud. I am messy, and I am free. This is my story. It is not a fairy tale. There is no prince, but there is a happy ending. The happy ending is me. Thank you for listening. Remember, you can do this. 2. You are brave. Keep going.